Hey guys, today's video is holding on equals psychological suffering. So I did a group about this in my sober living house with the guys because I run groups every Wednesday, helping them through their problems and on a mindfulness level of sobriety rather than just AA and such. So I talked to a few of them about this kind of stuff, but holding on to your past experiences. So I've realized recently, and I've done some more studying into it, that there's two things that really cause an addict to go into a downward spiral and create an addiction. And those two things are whether they're psychological or trauma related. So you might have some trauma that you dealt with in the past. And if you're holding on to that trauma as if it happened to you yesterday, or even as if it's happening to you still right now, the only thing that can possibly do to you in this moment is affect you through thought by thinking about it. So, because if you weren't thinking about it, then how can it possibly have a hold over you? So, a lot of people bring up mixed feelings about how they feel about things when someone brings up something that happened to them. So, and that's a problem of mine with AA is you go in there and you hear someone tell their story, and it might actually bring up some stuff about what's happened to you. So the psychological suffering is strictly through thought. You can't suffer over something psychologically unless you're thinking about it. And the only thing you can think about that would make you suffer is something that's happened in the past. There is stuff like when I said there's either trauma related stuff or psychologically related stuff. Some people do have mental disorders such as schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, manic bipolar disorder, such as that, that makes them think into the future, which I've talked about before as future tripping. And you think too much about what might happen, but still most of that stuff happens due to what's happened in the past. So you might think, what if this happens again? And it's really important to figure out where you lie on the spectrum of psychologically or trauma-related addiction. So those two things really grasp into how to get past your mental issues with that kind of stuff. Now, if you are holding on to a trauma, you're going to be experiencing symptoms of PTSD, lucid dreams, stuff like that, daydreaming of stuff that might have happened to you in the past or not even has had happened to you, but, an embellished creation of what has happened to you. So it's really a matter of just, if you can see it clearly, that how can something that's happened to you in the past be affecting you now? Because it's not happening anymore. So you have to be holding on to something so tightly that it's creating a stress in your life now. So I think it's really important just, you realize these things, and just by knowing that that's how the brain works and that's how we work through our lives, it's how, there is no other explanation to why we would be suffering in the moment. Suffering in the moment is only from holding on to the past problems and thinking about them in the present. So we got to stop thinking about what we did in the past and start being who we are in the present. All right, thanks guys.